Welcome to building a fortress. So, what is a fortress? A military stronghold. A fortified town fit for a large army. Take note, the two shots fired by Black so far are the pawns on e5 and f5. Black's first two shots aimed directly toward the center. Introducing Chess Master Ben.
In chess, a fortress is typically associated with the endgame. However, a player sets up a defensive position that their opponent cannot break, yet you can still build a fortress-like structure in the middle game, especially for the player who has a significant material disadvantage.
Building a fortress requires accurate play. What are some characteristics of a fortress? And how should you play once you build it? The stronger side's pawns are either blockaded, guarded against, or held off from making quick breakthroughs. Let's say white is the stronger side. White's bishop on f4 aims at the pawn on d6, a weak backward pawn. White's queen on f3 threatens the knight on d5. Should the knight on f6 move, then the knight on d5 will fall. White already owns the e-file. Should black capture on e1, then white will just recapture with the other rook. And lastly, white's knight on a4 threatens to go to b2 and to c4, a square from which it could pressure the d-pawn in concert with the bishop on f4. The next characteristic of black's fortress is that it keeps white's queen from being able to invade because it is cut off. And lastly, black's fortress consists of a waiting move at hand. Let's begin. Okay, so it is black to move. Queen to d7 is played. This is the waiting move. A waiting move that connects both rooks on the 8th rank. White retrieves the bishop back to g3. And this gives black time to improve the position of one of his knights, knight to b4, which threatens the fork on c2. Tries to trade a pair of rooks, but this gives black control of the e-file. Because of black's fortified structure, white is unable to make any progress, but makes an attempt to begin a kingside assault. Pawn to h4. Knight to c2 attacks the rook on a1, rook to c1, and now knight e1 is the game finisher.
In reference to the endgame, a fortress-like structure can be achieved by building a defensive perimeter. For instance, a pawn chain that the opponent cannot breach.
Here, white can already resign. Queen to d1 was played in order to hold the g-pawn, but by trying to hold on to material, this costs white the game. Queen to b7 threatens checkmate on g2. Thank you. That is all I have. Stay tuned for my next video.